He's the youngest of the Baratheon brothers, who was daring enough to challenge the rule of succession by defying his own brother's rightful claim to the Iron Throne. Renly Baratheon's eccentric and charismatic personality makes him one of the more appealable character profiles to cover. In today's video, I'm going to take you through the entire life of Renly, from his early beginnings at Storm's End, his marriage to Maergery Tyrell, and all the way up to his shocking and untimely demise at his own brother's command. Welcome to Game of Thronelore. This is the life of Renly Baratheon. Born in 277 AC at Storm's End, Renly was the youngest of three brothers, all born to Lord Steffon Baratheon and Lady Cassana Estermont. Unfortunately for Renly, he was no more than a year old when his parents drowned at sea due to the sinking of their ship Windproud on their return from the Free Cities. He was just a mere boy of 6 at the time of Robert's rebellion and spent the war under siege in Storm's End together with his older brother Stannis. He was also witness to the desperation of the starving garrison, something that was very difficult for him to comprehend. As a boy, Renly loved bright colours and fabrics. He also loved to play games as well, and was known to run laughing through the halls of Storm's End. After his older brother Robert claimed the Iron Throne and became king of the realm, Renly was eventually granted the seat of Storm's End and named Lord Paramount of the Stormlands, upsetting Stannis greatly, who felt that, as the elder of the two, Storm's End was his by right. This was the first of hostilities that began between the two brothers, as due to this appointment, Renly may have begun to feel that he was no longer below Stannis in terms of birthright law. When he turned 16, Renly then made a lord's progress across the Stormlands to mark his coming of age. During this progress, he also visited the Isle of Tarth, where he first met, then danced with Brienne of Tarth. There is also accounts of Renly even visiting Sunspear in Dorne, and upon meeting with the youngest Baratheon, Princess Arianne Martell tried her best to seduce Renly, but remembers that he had seemed more bemused than enticed by her attempts. During his time as Lord of Storm's End, Renly then took Loras Tyrell as his page and squire. This was likely the start of their intense love affair. Although not widely known, the forbidden relationship is known to various others at court. Renly was eventually named to the Small Council, where he occupied the position of Master of Laws. While he is at court, his castellan at Storm's End is Sir Courtney Penrose, who also raises King Robert's bastard son, Edric Storm, for them. Renly also has quite a large personal guard, with him having over 30 men or more at the capital. By the events of the first novel, Game of Thrones, Renly is 21 years of age. He's a tall man with black hair falling to his shoulders. He is also believed to look quite similar to a young Robert, though several inches shorter and far less muscular. Renly was very confident within himself as a person, and he cared about his appearance. He kept his hair combed back and neat, and also preferred to be clean shaven. He had bluish green eyes and would dress in expensive, lavish attire in colours that highlighted whatever colour his eyes appeared more like, though he favoured the colour green more. While King Robert Baratheon's procession is returning from Winterfell, Renly meets up with them along the way. He's accompanied by Sir Barristan Selmy, Lord Commander of the Kingsguard, and the King's Justice, Sir Ilyn Payne. Renly was highly amused by Prince Joffrey Baratheon's accusations against Arya Stark's direwolf Nymeria, and is actually forced to leave the room at Darry, close to hysterically laughing at the thought of Joffrey being disarmed and beaten by a girl far smaller and much younger than him, something that infuriated Joffrey. During the tourney held to celebrate Ned Stark's appointment as Hand of the King, Renly performed fairly well, losing out to the Hound Sandor Clegane. He then shows Lord Eddard Stark a painted portrait of Maergery Tyrell, and asks if he believes that she looks like Lyanna, Ned's deceased sister. Ned is quite puzzled by this uncanny question, but he states that the girl looks nothing like his beloved late sister. Unbeknownst to many, Renly and Loras Tyrell were secretly plotting to have Cersei Lannister removed as queen, wanting Robert to take Loras' sister Maergery as his new queen instead, with the thought that if the king believed that Maergery looked like Lyanna, it would make the plan go a lot easier. It's actually at Renly's suggestion and encouragement that Robert ordered the assassination of Daenerys Targaryen after it is discovered that she's pregnant. Renly also joins Robert when the king goes hunting in the Kingswood for a white hart, and is first-hand witness to his brother suffering a fatal blow. While Robert lies dying from his injury, Renly quickly approaches Eddard and suggests that they seize control of the royal children before Queen Cersei Lannister can make her move. Eddard refuses the offer, however, and Renly is then reported as fleeing King's Landing by horseback along with Sir Loras Tyrell. He's ordered, along with the other nobles, to swear fealty to King Joffrey, his nephew, although he outright refuses, which fuels rumours that he had killed Robert in a drunken quarrel. Renly refuses to support Joffrey because he plans to mount his own challenge for the Iron Throne. He manages to win the support of the powerful House Tyrell and many of their bannermen through a secret love affair with Sir Loras and a marriage to his sister Maergery. Renly is then crowned Lord of the Seven Kingdoms at Highgarden. With the support of the Tyrell forces of Highgarden, in addition to his bannermen of the Stormlands, Renly Baratheon now has the largest army in the coming War of the Five Kings, which really put him in a strong position despite his older brother Stannis having the better and arguably rightful claim to the Iron Throne. He spends a great deal of time moving through the Reach, gaining support and men at castles such as Horn Hill, while waiting for the right moment to strike. He hosts tourneys for his men, including a great melee at Bitterbridge, and blocks the supply of food on the Rose Road to King's Landing, causing the capital to suffer starvation. All the while he waits for the Lannisters and Starks to wear each other down. Brienne of Tarth, who is infatuated with Renly, joins the Rainbow Guards to be close to him. Robb Stark, the young King of the North, sends his mother Catelyn to Bitterbridge to negotiate an alliance with Renly against Lord Tywin Lannister, who is fortified at Harrenhal. Renly states that he might allow Robb to keep his title, but he refuses to allow the North to succeed from the Seven Kingdoms. Renly's plan hits a stumbling block, however, when Stannis unexpectedly besieges Storm's End, forcing his brother to respond. Catelyn convinces the brothers to parley outside Storm's End, but Renly makes light of the situation, refusing to back down from his claim and advising his older brother to give up. He also denies Catelyn leave to return to Riverrun, so she may witness the fate of rebels. While preparing for battle with Stannis' forces the next dawn, however, Renly is slain by an animated shadow conjured by his brother's sorceress advisor, Melisandre. After learning of Renly's death, an enraged and deeply upset Sir Loras Tyrell slays 3 of the king's guards. Stannis is then troubled by terrible nightmares over his actions concerning his brother. Rumours spread that Renly was killed by a knight of his own Rainbow Guard, or Stannis. Even Brienne and Catelyn are suspects. Most of Renly's lords join Stannis' host, as he is technically the rightful heir. Some prominent nobles, however, like Loras and Randyll Tarly, refuse and instead return to Bitterbridge. Sir Courtney Penrose, the Castellan of Storm's End, disbelieves that Renly has died, but his body goes missing before it can be presented as proof. Courtney refuses to surrender Storm's End and his charge, Edric Storm, but the Castellan is also assassinated by another animated shadow. Although his death was controversial, Renly Baratheon could have had a serious impact on the War of the Five Kings, and perhaps the claim to the Iron Throne also. It would have been very interesting to see how his campaign would have panned out had he not been killed so early into the war. Still, his character remains one of an eccentric valor, and his story is definitely worth being told. Thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate your support. Everyone, notifications of uploads are more important than ever, so please, if you haven't already, turn those notifications on to make sure you're notified the moment my video goes live. Making videos is what I love to do, it's my dream and my passion. However, it does cost time and money to produce this content, so if you have $1 to spare to support me on Patreon in exchange for some exclusive unseen content, then you can click the Patreon link below or at the end of this video.
please only support me if you can afford it. And make sure to follow me on Instagram at InstaDeanJ and on Twitter at PotterFolklore. Check out my other videos appearing on screen, and please make sure, most importantly, to hit that subscribe button. Thanks again everyone, and please have a great day.